Welcome into NFL Live. We have got some major breaking news to start the show. It comes out of Cleveland as the Browns have officially traded Baker Mayfield to the Carolina Panthers pending a team physical. Adam Schefter is here with us now. And Adam, what more can you tell us about the deal?
The truth of the matter is a deal between these two teams came close to happening a couple of weeks back, and talks never really evaporated. The two sides stayed in contact, and Carolina remained as really the best and lone hope for Baker Mayfield, where he would wind up, where he would be traded. And so in return, the Cleveland Browns get back a conditional 2024 fifth-round draft pick that could go up to a fourth-round draft pick based on play time here. Obviously, the Browns will pay $10.5 million of Baker Mayfield's $18.85 million salary for the season. The Carolina Panthers are paying $4.85 million of Baker's salary, and Baker is giving back some money that he can earn in incentives. But now the Carolina Panthers have Baker Mayfield and they have Sam Darnold, and they are planning to have a quarterback competition this summer. Best quarterback wins, but clearly they've been interested in Baker all along, and you'd have to think that he will have a good shot of starting on opening day. And if he does start on opening day, it will be Carolina versus Cleveland. Baker will certainly have a lot to play for on opening day.
Couldn't have written it any better if we tried with that one right there, huh, Adam? You mentioned that they have been interested in him for a while now. So why now, after a quiet offseason, did they decide to make this move?
I think we get past the holiday. Like I said, the two teams had been in contact. They had been close to completing a deal. And the closer we get to training camp, why not make that happen now? And I think that was the mindset of both teams. They were close enough to be able to make this happen. And basically today, it was just put into place an agreement pending a physical that Baker Mayfield still has to pass in Carolina. Shouldn't be an issue. Once he passes that physical, the trade then would become official, and Baker Mayfield would be a Carolina Panther preparing for opening day against the Cleveland Browns.
All right, so Baker Mayfield to the Panthers. Sam Darnold obviously also on that roster, and a quarterback controversy in Carolina. What a way to start things off here on NFL Live today with Jeremy Fowler, Dan Graziano, and Rob Ninkovich with us. I'm Kelsey Riggs, and guys, plenty to break down even further with this. So Dan, let's start with you, and what's the upside you think of this deal for the Carolina Panthers?
Well, it's another option for them, Kelsey. Look, the Carolina Panthers do not have their long-term answer, maybe even their short-term answer at quarterback, and they know this. They tried last offseason to get Matthew Stafford, and they got outbid by the Rams. They tried this offseason to get Deshaun Watson, and we know how that turned out. He's in Cleveland, which is actually oddly part of the reason Baker Mayfield's now in Carolina. So the Panthers need, in the absence of a perfect solution, they are trying to attack the problem with volume. So you heard Adam say it's going to be a quarterback competition. Could be Sam Darnold. Could be Baker Mayfield. They drafted Matt Corral, who's a long-term play for them. But they get a look at Baker Mayfield for a pretty low price. And if he shows something, then he could be on their list of potential solutions going forward once this season is over. Very low-risk deal for Carolina to get a guy that has won some games in the league and could be an upside play.
Yeah, Dan, I agree with you on that. As far as depth is concerned, you got a young quarterback, you got Sam Darnold. I'm following the money on this one. They guaranteed Sam Darnold $18.8 million with the fifth-year option. He's going to be the starting quarterback. I know it's going to be the competition. They always say competition, but they got a great deal on Baker, $5 million. The Browns are eating 10 of it. So, again, I think that this will be a competition, but it's probably in Baker's best interest. New change of scenery. You get to a new organization. Yeah, it'll be a competition, but I don't really think it'll be a competition. I think Sam Darnold is the starting quarterback. He's going to go in a training camp as the quarterback for this football team. If Baker can make a splash, maybe he'll be the guy week one, but I still think Sam Darnold is the starting quarterback week one.
Jeremy, how about you? We've seen all the controversy right now that this creates with this quarterback room and what they have there. Do you feel like Baker could be the week one starter, or does he have a leg up potentially over Sam Darnold?
Well, certainly he'll be in play because Carolina felt, and everybody there agreed, that they had to upgrade the quarterback position, that Matt Rule needed help. Now, I was told not everybody in Carolina was completely sold on Baker Mayfield when they first started looking into him around draft time, but they all came around to the fact that, okay, we have to upgrade here somehow. But owner David Tepper, he was waiting for a, quote, great deal. That's what I was told, that he didn't want to pay $9 or $10 million here. $5 million ended up being the sweet spot, and it's sort of surprising that Mayfield actually took a little bit less, renegotiated his contract to get out of Cleveland, but that's how desperate he was to have a chance to play elsewhere.
You look at it this way. They traded a conditional 2024 fifth-round draft pick to get Baker Mayfield. They made the trade last year for Sam Darnold. They drafted Matt Corral this year. Carolina is hoping that one of these quarterbacks shines this summer, lays claim to the job, and can be somebody that this organization builds around for the future. The Panthers still don't know who will be their quarterback long term. Maybe it'll be none of these quarterbacks, but they believe by adding one more to the mix at a very low cost, when they're paying only $4.85 million of Baker and Mayfield's salary for this season, less than $5 million. Why not take that chance? Now you've got Mayfield. Now you've got Darnold. Now you've got Corral. May the best man win. May the best man shine. And hopefully for Carolina's sake, one of them plays well enough to lay hold to that job for a long period of time.
Panthers haven't won a playoff game since 2015. Baker Mayfield, of course, was able to do that with the Browns for the first time since 1994. We'll see if he can get the Panthers there. We're talking about controversy, but how about this? Not just a quarterback controversy. What's it going to be like inside the locker room? Because remember this from Instagram back in April. Robbie Anderson, star wide receiver, reacting to a report that the Panthers had just interest in trading for Baker Mayfield before the draft. His response on that fan's post was a very long no. So, Dan, your take on this. How does this go over now that it is official and Baker Mayfield is with the Panthers in that same locker room?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be up to everybody to get along. Baker Mayfield is going to have an opportunity to show Robbie Anderson and any other doubters that might be there that they were wrong, right? I mean, like if he practices well and he shows like he has a handle on the offense and he looks like he can be the guy that can lead the huddle, then I don't doubt that Robbie Anderson or any other skeptics on that roster would come around if their opinion is one that's negative of Baker Mayfield. Look, these guys all, Rob can discuss this as a former player. Like, these guys all want to win. They all want to get paid. They know that the quarterback has to be right in order for that to be the case. So I think.
Yeah,
Rob, go ahead.
Also too, what Dan was talking about, like being in a locker room, it's about respect. And when a guy walks in, and even if there was a tweet or whatever, something was said outside of that, they weren't on the same team. So now he's in the same locker room. Now they're going into training camp and they're going to be practicing together. It's about earning the respect of the guys around you. Because honestly, there's been guys that have been on teams with me. They're not very good. And if they were paid a ton of money, we're just like, all right, well, he's not really going to help us win. He's not going to be here. And you know the guys that are going to be there, and you know the guys that aren't. So if he comes in and he performs well and he performs at a high level, there'll be no issues. Everyone will accept him.
And Rob, if you look at it this way, think about it like this. Cleveland basically wrote off Baker Mayfield. Some of the Browns' teammates wrote off Baker Mayfield. We saw Robbie Anderson write off Baker Mayfield, although today he said it was taken out of context. Of course, he would say that right now. Obviously, he's going to want to see what Baker Mayfield is about. But there have been so many people here over the last year who have doubted, questioned, criticized Baker Mayfield. We've seen that at every walk of his life. When he was leaving high school, as he entered college, when he was in college, people doubting him, and he's usually responded to that type of treatment. Well, he goes to Carolina again, facing all those critics, all those naysayers once again, and he steps in there, I think, with a chip on his shoulder, with a chance to show everybody he's a better quarterback than he showed last year when he played through injuries, and has a chance again to lay claim to that starting quarterback job in Carolina to be the long-term solution that this franchise is looking for and essentially got on the cheap today.
Certainly an opportunity for him to kind of have a resurgence of his career and this opportunity with Carolina. On the other side of things, Cleveland, what do they do now? Browns owner Jimmy Haslam released the following statement today saying, quote, "From the moment he was drafted, he gave his all for this organization and this city. With his fierce competitive spirit, he excited the fan base and accomplished things that no player at his position had done in Cleveland for a very long time." So certainly some nice words there from the owner about Baker Mayfield as he now moves to Carolina. Jeremy, the other side of this is what happens now with the Browns. And assuming that Deshaun Watson does end up with a suspension, they still have Jacoby Brissett there. So what does this offense look like now in Cleveland?
Yeah, well, I just talked to some people involved, asked around today in light of this news, and was told that the Browns still look at Jacoby Brissett, who they signed this offseason, as a bridge quarterback. So he can play some games while Deshaun Watson is presumably suspended. I'm told that they feel like, okay, if Watson's going to be suspended a very, very long time, we're talking a year or more, then maybe they would look around at their options. But they also know they can't really do much on the trade front because they gave up so much to get Deshaun Watson. They don't have a lot of draft capital left. They're not going to go out and give 2 first-round picks for like a Kirk Cousins or somebody who would be a solution there for a year or two. So right now, the plan loosely is to roll with Brissett, see where it goes, hope they get Watson back in short order.
And Jeremy, they don't have a lot of draft capital,
Yeah.
and they don't have a lot of room against the salary cap.
Yeah.
So they're shorthanded on 2 fronts in Cleveland. But this is why the Browns went out and signed Jacoby Brissett, why they went out and signed Josh Dobbs, anticipating that there was a real chance that there was going to be discipline imposed upon Deshaun Watson. So they've made those plans. And those plans are those 2 quarterbacks who are already there, Brissett and Dobbs, and they're hoping that Watson will be back sooner rather than later while waiting for a decision from the judge right now.
Much more to come on this throughout NFL Live, the Cleveland side of it, and of course what it means for Carolina and Baker Mayfield going forward as well.